Hey everyone, welcome back to It Wicket, and today I thought I'd do another one of my team previews for the T20 World Cup. So today I'm moving on to Team New Zealand. Check out my England and Australia videos, which I've already done. The link is above. But looking at New Zealand's squad, which we have here, as a typical New Zealand side, it doesn't have many X factor players in there or huge hitters or any really explosive bowlers. I'd say Trent Boult is probably one of them, but it's not that different from New Zealand in every single World Cup they enter. They don't really have much explosive X Factor players, but they always seem to outperform what you'd expect. They love beating India in World Cups, and they love getting to finals in World Cups, not semi-finals and finals, either way. And they've done it basically in all the World Cups of recent, like last 5 years. They're constantly getting through in World Cups, and they always seem to turn up, whether they're good in that format or not. So I would never underestimate this New Zealand side. Williamson's lack of form, especially in the other formats, but even in 2020, is probably a worry for New Zealand, as he is one of their better players, and he's their skipper, so they'll need him to lead from the front in this World Cup. I think Colin de Grandhom's retirement was a big loss for them leading into this World Cup. They would have loved to have him on board. He's a huge hitter of the cricket ball, and he was in quite good form leading into this tournament until he decided to call it quits. And last but not least, I think New Zealand will be very happy with the returns of Lockie Ferguson from injury. He seemed to be pretty good on the tour of Australia, the little we saw of him, and I'm sure he'll have a big part to play in Australian conditions with the bounce and pace and the fact that he bowls nearly 150 clicks. Now, if we move on to the most probable XI for New Zealand, I think up the top, I'm going to go with Conway and Guptill. I think that's pretty stock standard. Number 3, Williamson. Number 4, I have Finn Allen. I think he's an underrated 2020 player. He hits a huge ball. Number 5 and 6, I have Daryl Mitchell and Jimmy Neesham, two good all-rounders. Daryl Mitchell's been in quite good form leading into this tournament. And Jimmy Neesham, as we know, he's a proven big ball hitter in T20 cricket. Number 7, I have Glenn Phillips or Michael Bracewell. So this will be depending on the ground. If they're playing on what seems like a slower deck, maybe a bit juicier, then maybe go with Bracewell to add that extra spinning option. But if they're playing on a road like the Gabba or the MCG, then go with Glenn Phillips because you need runs on the board. Then the 4 bowlers, I think no real surprises here. Southee, Bolt, Ferguson, and Ish Sodhi, maybe one surprise. The fact that they've gone with Mitch Santner in recent times. I definitely go with Ish Sodhi because just the pure fact that he's a leg spinner, and leg spinners will always get you way more wickets than left arm orthodoxes. Nothing against Mitch Santner. He is definitely a very good limited overs bowler. He keeps it tight, but he won't get you those wickets. And in Australia, it's already going to be quite hard for spinners to keep it tight. So you need spinners who can get you wickets. Even if they go for 40, 45 off their 4, if they can get 3, 4 wickets, it's more than worth it. Now, for their top 3 performers, number 1, I have to go with Williamson. I think he'll show up in the World Cup. He tends to show up for New Zealand. He likes those big pressure moments, those big pressure games. His cool, calm presence will be definitely needed because New Zealand, as they always have, they'll rely on their bowlers to keep the totals down. They haven't been able to score those huge totals in 2020 or ODI cricket, and their bowling has always done the business. And a big part of that is Kane Williamson patiently going through the batting innings and then exploding towards the end. So if he can continue to do that, New Zealand have a chance of going past the group stage. Then at number 2, I have Lockie Ferguson. I'm a huge fan of Lockie Ferguson ever since he came to the stage. He bowls rapid, but not only that, he's accurate. You can bowl as fast as you want, but if you're bowling shit lines and lengths, you're still going to get slugged. But Lockie Ferguson bowls very good lines and lengths, and he's a genuine wicket taker. Every time I see him bowl, he's always getting 2 or 3 wickets, sometimes 4 wickets, or he's always at least producing chances. He can leak runs, which, of course, anyone who bowls 150, a simple top edge will go for 6 every time. So he can leak runs, but if he can get those wickets, New Zealand won't mind it. At number 3, I think we have New Zealand's most important player in this format and leading up to this tour, and that's Trent Boult. The way Trent Boult was swinging it in back in that Australian series and ripping up that top order, if he can do that again in this World Cup, New Zealand have a big, big chance. Trent Boult, as we know, has been a tried and tested performer. He's very good, and again, he's one of those players that shows up in World Cups. Like I said, Kane Williamson does. Mitchell Stark generally does. Unfortunately, I don't see them going out of the group stage. But then again, New Zealand always seem to bring an insanely high level of skill to every World Cup, so you never know. I just feel they're a bit too reliant on a couple of players on that side, and the fact that they don't have that X Factor player. But again, I'll probably come back after this World Cup and New Zealand are champions and get a slap in my face. So you just never know. New Zealand are a very good World Cup side. Let me know in the comments below how you think New Zealand will go in this World Cup, how far you think they'll go, and who do you think their best performers will be. And until next time, I'll see you guys later.
Calm before